kind of come into this cross-conference play being number 1 and 2. They weren't, and now they got to make sure they don't fall into that same type of a trap up against 100 Thieves, who have shown themselves to be capable.
Absolutely. I mean, 100 Thieves have been a very strong team fighter. That is what everyone I talk to on the pro teams is telling me, you know, how good this team is just mechanically in 5v5. It's really suiting their style, how heavily you've got a team fight in this season. But we're already ripping through the picks and bans. It's first pick, Jayce here for 100 Thieves. Varus grabbed up by FlyQuest. And we have some of the usual suspects against FlyQuest on the ban list. You know, Ivor and Cassio, Poppy, all picks that are pretty highly prized by FlyQuest and thus pretty highly prized bans against them.
Meanwhile, over on the other side, Skarner banned, Yone banned, Callista banned, all of these kind of among those usual suspects like you're talking about. These champions rarely get to see the Rift itself, but the Varus locked in like you're talking about. We got the Vi locked in alongside it. I always get a little bit worried when I see the Nidalee hovers last longer than a second. I never want to see that champion. But
and you usually are not a Vi fan, but you have told me that Inspired has a Vi card.
Yeah, Inspired gets the Vi card. Ever since he had that crazy 1v3 triple kill a couple of years ago in one of his games in the enemy jungle, I feel like this guy is always finding great angles on the champion. He's very, very good at maximizing his farm while also making plays to get the team ahead. Over on the other side, we're going to see the Corki picked up. Remember, this could be a flex into either mid or AD carry position alongside the Sejuani in the jungle for River.
Yeah, it's actually the third Sejuani game now for River in this split. He has been playing it quite a lot. You know, when they played against TL, he actually prioritized taking away the tank junglers from Umpty, and here going to be going with the same. Going with that Sejuani. They do have a Jayce as one solo lane. We don't know if Corki's going to be mid or bot, but I am assuming it will be bot for now, as it kind of pretty commonly is. Ksante left up, though, for Bwipo, and he is not going to be busting out anything too crazy. You can tell that they're still worried about this being a mid lane Jayce because Ambessa is the 4th ban there for FlyQuest, so concerned about any potential bad matchups there for Bwipo in the top lane.
Yeah, they want to make sure, and we even heard Bwipo kind of talking about this in the interview that he had with Sniper and Lau before the series began, saying that 100 Thieves needs to play at a certain pace if they want to win. He just wants to be able to throw wrenches into that plan, because if they can't hit that pace, they're going to struggle a lot. So if he can keep Sniper off of something like an Ambessa, something that can go a little bit crazy and make the game messy, well, that'll just fit right into FlyQuest's plan. So banning that one away. Also now the Taliyah going to be banned out by 100 Thieves. Final ban of the draft for FlyQuest, Pantheon.
Yep, Pantheon support becoming very popular. We have seen Eyla play it, had a pretty good game on it. And, you know, Sniper's is not really known for his Jayce. He hasn't brought it out yet this split. Did play it some, you know, last year, but not a tremendous amount. And so I do think they are thinking there's a higher than normal chance of this being a Quid Jayce. He has not played the Jayce either yet this split, but he was pretty well known for it last year. Definitely a strong AD mid player. And that is kind of, I think, Quid's style. You know, he is the more aggressive of the Quid Quad matchup here. You know, he is more the kind of melee champion specialist, where Quad I see more as that controlled style player who really specializes in scaling well, you know, in absorbing blows early on and in dominating in team fights.
Okay, let's see what FlyQuest wants to go with here. Unlike the draft of 100 Thieves, they don't really have any flex in their first 3 picks, so we know where everything's going. They are going to draft the mid laner 4th pick, saving that last slot for support, and it'll be Quad piloting the Azir.
Yeah, Azir going to be locked in here, looking pretty standard over on their side. Akali would not surprise me. Akali, a pretty common matchup into the Azir. Mel could also be interesting, but Akali is something that we've seen for a couple years now as an answer. People do like this matchup quite a lot, but of course, we don't know exactly where they are going to go, so I'm just going to stop talking about hovers as they do lock in the Rell. Of course, it could still just be Corki versus Azir mid. Something that we know, but I'm not going to say love.
Yeah, I definitely don't love that one.
You know it, you tolerate it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I do that, honestly. At this point, Isaac, it's been a lot of years playing League of Legends, but one thing that I am noticing on 100 Thieves is a severe lack of magic damage.
Ooh.
There we go. There's the antidote to the problem. Sylas locked in. Whenever you see Sylas locked, the first thing you think of is what ults does he have available to steal? Vi ult could be a way to enter into the fight. Varus ulti for extra pick potential, and we know that Azir's ult can be a big team fight tool as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad ults, but it's not amazing ones either. Like you said, Varus can be used as a pick tool, but again, it's most of the power in the Varus ult is actually popping the blight stacks, right? And doing that. You do have a good way in with the Vial. The Azir ult's not bad, Braum ult not bad, but there's not any of the like really premium ones like Alistar or Gnar or things like that that are really going to make you want that very heavily. Maokai as well, another one of those top ones, but this is just Quid's style. He really does thrive on these melee champions, on these aggressive champions. He's played Mbessa mid, he's played Yone mid, he's already played Sylas, he's played Akali, he's played Galio. He wants to be playing a lot of these melee champions that can be the playmakers for the team, and I do think Quid is at his best playing that style. And we have seen him this split, really, I want to say, look like he is back in MVP form. He has been playing out of his mind, and 100 Thieves are such a threat, not just because of Quid, being at that level. It's because of the additional threat now of the bot lane. I feel like last year it was so much about, Quid and River have got to carry or else they're not going to be able to get it done. Now Eyla is playing so much better. The addition of FBI has really leveled them up in the bot lane, and I feel like they have true second carry threats here, which has made their team fight such a problem for other teams in the LTA.
And on the other side, when you're looking at the bot lane of FlyQuest, when you're looking at Massu, when you're looking at the North American player that I think impressed international audiences the most last year at Worlds with his performances, with his own standout mechanical play, there's a lot of carry potential on both of these teams. I do agree with you when you're talking about Quid being back in MVP form. When we're talking about Quid and Quad, I think we're talking about the two best mid laners in the North.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not even a question at this time. I don't think APA or Loki and any of the other guys that are in that top 4 have been on their level so far this split. Of course, it is just the beginning of the year, so we'll see if that story changes. But for now, these are the teams that people are looking at for those elite mid-jungle duos. These are the ones that everyone is really paying attention to. And I think it's going to be such an exciting battle as a result. We have some of the best bot lanes in the league, some of the best mid-jungles in the league. It is going to be a real slugfest here, I think. 100 Thieves just love playing at a very high pace and really pushing the tempo and drawing their opponents into an absolute brawl where they can thrive.
And FlyQuest, on the other hand, more than happy to play it more slowly, more than happy to just allow things move forward according to expectation and not rock the boat too much, because as long as FlyQuest aren't completely losing the plot in the early game, they do a great job playing as a team, securing mid-game advantages, and snowballing even minor leads into greater things.
Absolutely, and I would say they're our most disciplined team. When we look back towards last weekend's games, they were a team that took no risks. And Bwipo, has been such a big part of their success. I would say Bwipo is the biggest mismatch with Sniper in this series. I am looking towards him and seeing what he is going to be cooking up. He has been bringing out all kinds of different stuff. The Garen, the Volibear, and he has, I think it's like 4 or 5 champions that he's the only top laner in all of the LTA to have played it so far this split. He really is kind of playing his own game, walking his own style, and succeeding so much while doing it, which just brings this different element to a series like this that is so hard to prepare for. You can't practice against Bwipo except by playing against Bwipo.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I really like about Fearless. I'm a big fan of this format, of the increased champion diversity that we get out of having everything banned out from the previous games. And Bwipo just seems to be loving the effects of it. We'll see how much he loves this top lane, obviously, early on versus Jayce as a melee champion. You're not supposed to have a whole lot of fun, but I will be interested in seeing how well Sniper does on this Jayce that you already mentioned back in draft. Even though it's something he's played before, it's not something we've seen from him so far this year. I want to see how sharp it is. I want to see how well he can deal with Bwipo. I want to see if we can get some of that killer instinct that could give 100 Thieves the edge they need to make this game fast and make this game bloody.
Yeah, I think that where Sniper has leveled up so far this year is his team fighting. I do think he's more consistently on the same page with the team, but I do think he has kind of lost a little bit of that kind of craziness, that aggression that endeared him to so many people at the beginning of his time in the LCS last year when he came in as a rookie. He was just solo killing people left and right. So far, though, the top lane going very well for him, and that is a good trade from Quid.
Back at mid, Quid just knocking Quad down to barely over 100 HP. The Emperor still having a potion to eat there. Quick shot of the crowd here in Sao Paulo with the Thunder Sticks ready to go. The crowd has been just electric so far playing here in Brazil. I'm loving the amount of energy that you get every time any kind of a outplay goes off. It's a ton of fun to be around.
Yeah, and I've got to give a shout out to the crowd, to the fans coming in and supporting these North teams. All the South teams got eliminated. I wasn't sure how excited they were going to be to cheer for the Northern squads. This place is completely packed. The fans are having a lot of fun enjoying the games, and it's been cool to hear from the fans, just how excited they seem to be for these games.
I love the preview that we got during waiting room, the look back at the fan telling Jan that, oh, hold on now 1 second. Okay, all right. I was slightly concerned because I knew that Sniper still had the knockback. I was like, hold on, what if he knocks Bwipo a little bit further back away from the turret? But looks like River's showing up now. 100 Thieves look for what could be a dive, but Bwipo sniffs it out. He doesn't want anything to do with this. Gets himself far enough away. Should be able to safely take the recall here, as Sniper's just going to keep on forcing this wave down. Bwipo retreats, and he'll be able to teleport right back into lane.
Oh yeah, this is a little bit of an aggressive teleport location for him, but of course the early teleports take an eternity. Just wanted to make sure that Sniper was a little bit scared, saying, oh, hey, maybe someone's coming, you got to back off. So Sniper, unfortunately, gets that wave very low, but doesn't actually kill any of it, so he is going to lose that entire wave. Not going to get the experience or gold from that. Bwipo did have Inspired running straight up towards top, so if Sniper overstayed, could have looked for a punish, but of course we know that did not happen. And that's something that when I talk to 100 Thieves and their coaching staff, that they have really talked about with Sniper is that, yeah, okay, maybe he's not as crazy, doesn't have quite as many individual pop-off moments, but he's way more measured in his play. And one of the things that they have really credited him with is when he can create advantages, he's much more likely to keep that advantage than he was last year, because he's paying a lot more respect to the map movements.
River making another attempt, this time over in mid. Shows up, but doesn't really get any summoners or anything of value from Quad as Inspired. Also going to pass through the area here. Eyla hanging out nearby. Supports have taken their first recalls, so their rotations are also going to bring them towards the mid lane, as neither one of the junglers is really going to find an opportunity here just yet.
And Inspired, we have got to talk about this guy. He has been on a mission for FlyQuest, as we are going to have a bit of a skirmish here.
Yeah, the full engage onto Quad, who has to flash away. Immediately now returning with some damage of his own to the soldiers. Quid down to 200 HP, has to make some distance of his own. So Summoner spell blown there on the mid laner of FlyQuest. Quad losing that one should open up opportunity for a return gank here from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it looked like Eyla flashed as well, but Inspired perfect last week. Not a single death. He was like 0-0 and 19 on Sejuani. That is the perfect Sejuani scoreline. Not taking a single kill. And then he had a monster Lilia game, 7-0 and 10, if I recall correctly. This guy has just been so consistent, such a monster for the squad. He has won MVPs across multiple leagues, and he just plays so consistently at a high level that it really is incredible to watch. And picking up right where he left off last year, just trying to be that big threat for FlyQuest.
And if we're talking about things that are a joy to watch, down here in the bot lane, Massu and Busio just controlling things during the laning phase. You can see a two-wave advantage, even with the extra minions left to farm here for FBI and Eyla. And now with Inspired showing up, they might just try to force the issue, but the wave clear is enough. FBI and Eyla are going to stay safe for now, but 52 to 39, nearly a 300 gold lead. That's a champion kill worth of gold just in the minion advantage for Massu early on.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting that straight up 2v2 matchup, and while Sniper has had pressure in top lane, every time we go up there, it feels like he's beating Bwipo up. The farm is dead even, so he's not really opening up that big gold lead. He's very close to taking the first plate on top, which would be a nice little boon to him, but it's been about the FlyQuest bot lane, who, when you talk to all the bot lanes in the league, this is the one they are really pointing to as the best in the league right now. So much credit given to how Busio actually plays on the map, how he moves around the map with his team. His roams are very, very impactful and consistent, is what I hear most from those bot laners. And the thing that you always look towards when, okay, this guy roams, we'll just punish his AD. But that is something that Massu gets a tremendous amount of credit for never being out of position, for really being so hard to punish. Every time he's left alone in the 1v2, he seems to know exactly how far he can go. He gives up the minimum and never really puts himself in a spot to get fully punished.
And you can see those bot laners now switching up to the top side of the map. Massu will arrive there first. Observers pan down here to the bottom lane to show the wave that got crashed by FBI and Eyla, as they made sure to get that one in before they took the recall of their own. So now FBI will be arriving up into the top lane to mirror Massu's movements, as Sniper and Bwipo will take their places down on the bottom half of the map. Now, important to note, since the Dragon was taken first by Inspired, and then shortly thereafter the first set of grubs was taken by River, it's a 1-for-1 even trade on those neutral objectives. But normally, if they're taken at the same time, the timers are going to leave them staggered.
Yeah.
Since the takes were staggered, those second spawns are going to be nearly identical.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, if it just results in another trade or if both teams are going to try to commit towards the grubs. 6 grubs obviously very, very valuable. But thus far, it has felt like a FlyQuest-paced game, right? This has not felt like a 100 Thieves game.
Oh, but now the immediate engage coming out from River. Quad is in danger. Tries to get himself back away. Stun back up from Eyla, but it's first blood over to Bwipo in the meantime. Looks like a problem over here in the mid lane on 1-for-1 trade so far as Eyla's going to be knocked down next. And FlyQuest make it a 2-for-1 trade.
Bwipo really making the difference there. They had the extra man showing up, and they couldn't quite burst down Quad. They got him so incredibly low, but the heal from Busio, the Guardian from Busio, all of this making the difference to have Quad survive at very low health, pump out a ton of damage before he went down, and really allowing them to get that big edge. But there is a cost down on the bot side because Sniper was farming plates. He's pushing in waves, and we'll see if he's going to be able to get any sort of an edge as a result of it.
Yeah, I love the fact that Bwipo was ready to go for it, but a nice punish from Sniper like you're talking about to keep that gold pretty even. Let's take another look at how this started. Both teams knew something was happening here.
Exactly, but it's really the reaction here from Bwipo. He gets up there so much faster. You can see that stolen Azir ult, but then inspired. The peel comes through, in comes Busio. There's the Guardian. He's blocking damage as well from Eyla. Throws out that heal. All of that really buying time for Quad to get a lot of damage down onto Quid before he dies. Yes, FBI arrives, but it is too little, too late. And there's, I think, Bwipo's family cheering him on in the crowd. It was really cool to see them coming in.
I love to see that, man. Cheering on Bwipo as he's making the moves to get his team up to a 1-kill lead here just 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and Bwipo's mom, born in Brazil, lives in Belgium, so coming back here to be able to watch the games in Brazil, very cool kind of, crossing of worlds moment.
Yeah. Back to where it all began.
Exactly.
And here we are with FlyQuest and 100 Thieves still neck and neck here in this game with about 30 seconds until we get our second round of those neutral objectives. FlyQuest only need a single kill further in order to secure the feat of warfare for themselves. Both teams still needing a couple more to get those neutral objective feats. And with the still, 3.5 minutes that's on the clock until the turret plating goes down, I think we're still a ways away from some fancy shoes for either one of these squads. But honestly, Isaac, it's been a pretty quiet early game.
Yeah, it really has. And, as I was saying, I do think that is FlyQuest's preferred pace, right? 100 Thieves is the team that is known as just ramping it up into this insanity and forcing them to fight after fight after fight after fight. And they have so much practice doing this because that is how they scrim. That is how they practice. This is a team that will just fight you every second of every game. And FlyQuest plays that more controlled, measured style here. It's 100 Thieves, though, on the grubs, looking to see if they can actually threaten to get this 6 grubs here. But it is FlyQuest that had push in mid, and they're getting push in top. So Inspired just looking to steal one away.
Okay, Inspired's going to secure that first one. River's still hanging around now. He'll be the thief. Inspired has used his smite charge on that first grub to guarantee it. So now River should be able to jump in, guarantee at least one for himself. FlyQuest is just calling it. They're saying, all right, you can have the other 2. It doesn't matter. As long as we get at least 1, you're going to stop them from hitting the full 6 for the power of all the baby grubbies. You're going to stop them from getting the credit towards the feet. They're fine just giving them 5. I feel like if you can't fight for the full 3, you know they're going to get Void Mites one way or the other. So the difference between 4 and 5, you're willing to let it go to take priority over the Drake Pit instead.
Exactly. I think this is absolutely the right play. You just take away the 1 grub. As you say, they get no feet for it. They run down. They get a dragon of their own. They deny the 6. This is definitely a win for FlyQuest as they are now 1 kill away from the feat of warfare. 1 objective away from getting that one as well. So they're now quite close to a potential fancy feat upgrade.
I looked at it the other day because I was trying to figure it out. What were the names of the other feats? Because Feat of Warfare is the kill one.
There's Feat of Objectives and Feat of
Tower.
Killing Tower.
Yeah, that's what I realized, because I looked for it. They don't have fancy names. The other ones don't. It's just Feat of Killing Stuff and Feat of Tower. I really wish that they would give them a name. Or maybe I don't know what I'm looking for, and maybe I just completely missed it.
Dragon Slaying Feat.
But, I mean, that one does sound really cool, right? Feat of Dragon Slaying.
The Feat of Destruction for the towers.
Yeah, that would sound really awesome.
All right, well, we just figured it out.
All right, well, we've got them named.
We got the Feat of Warfare, the Feat of Destruction,
and the Feat of Dragon Slaying. Even though it also counts for weird space slugs, but you know what? We'll take that sometime.
Feat of Monster Slaying.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Monster Slaying feat.
Yeah, Monster Slaying, that works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it. Cool.
Yeah, put it in the game.
With
Ship
that.
it, freak.
Put it on the wiki.
Yeah.
Freak. Let's do it, buddy. Let's get that in there. Hold on. Bwipo's getting in there. Going in after Sniper. Hits him there with a Pathmaker, but you're still just Ksante unless you go all out. There's no real kill threat on the guy, and he doesn't want to fully force that here just yet. Busio getting stunned up. River commits the Glacial Prison. Follow-up from Eyla and Quid. They got the damage, and Busio was just a little bit too far in harm's way. Meanwhile, Sniper going to get taken all out, all in, all day. Feet of Warfare, FlyQuest.
They're going to grab it. Nicely done. Making a counterpunch up on that top side, and it is the bigger kill because now there's going to be some plates to be able to grab up here potentially before the does fall down. But it was at that tower. FBI trying to push up mid lane here. And Busio, even with the Merc Treads and even with that early wall getting thrown up, was still able to be CC'd forever and knocked down. But FlyQuest, again, just feel like they're getting that little bit extra.
And just that little bit, this is what we were talking about back at the start of the game. FlyQuest, they don't need to have the explosive, chaotic early game. You build a very modest lead, you plant that seed, and you grow it into a big, beautiful tree.
It's a big, wide Bwipo.
Yes, a big, wide Bwipo tree. As here's how Busio's tree got cut down in its prime.
Yeah, I mean, Busio here, you know, the E is pretty well timed. He throws out the ulti, and then right when he's going to get stunned, he knows it. But the follow-up here is just immaculate. The CC chain, pretty much nothing Busio could do. You can see Massu moving over. You know, we're seeing if he could actually hop out to safety, but elects to hold on to the flash, and I think that was the correct choice. Once Quid got in, he was always going to go down. And then back up towards this top side, it just inspired sneaking into the brush. And surprise, you get caught checking that bush. Got spotted by the sweeper. Easy Q to start it off. He flashes away. The ulti is there to follow. Inspired so good at never overcommitting on these abilities. Always seems to have the answer.
And I feel like the flash there from Sniper was a bit of a panic. The Vault Breaker had already been used to be right on top of him. You flash away. You're flashing out of a brush. He's chasing you with that ulti every time.
And you can hear the crowd there with the Bwipo, Bwipo chants. Definitely getting some of that home field advantage here.
I mean, I love that, man. Bwipo was even like tweeting earlier on in the week talking about wanting to help the LTA South teams, being like, hey, anybody want to work on some stuff? Let's talk about how you can improve your game. This guy's just all about the building aspect of the leagues, of the conferences, of everything. And I feel like in a time where we're kind of merging the two regions, the two conferences together, that is just doing so much for him to build an identity, build a reputation for himself and for FlyQuest.
I agree, and I think it's very much the thought process of, you know, rising tides raise all ships, right? You know, what makes the league stronger makes Bwipo stronger because he is then better competition. I think it's really that thought process, which is something that I definitely agree to. You know, and it's one of those things where sometimes people can feel like, it's right to just hoard information and not practice against the best teams and try to hide everything, but that only gets you so far, right? And it is by, you know, improving your opponents that you also are able to improve yourself.
I mean, it was his same thought process, his same rationale for the streaming scrims thing, right? He's like, look, we'll tell you what we're doing. We just want to make sure that everybody's getting better, so we're all improving at the same time. And now it looks like 100 Thieves are going after the Rift Herald. There is no attempt from FlyQuest to try to come in and stop this one. Bwipo moving back up to the tier 1 turret here as FlyQuest do have Quad just lone sieging that tier 1 in the bottom lane. Bwipo interfering with 100 Thieves' efforts in the top side to guarantee the first turret bottom. Meanwhile, the dive back in mid thanks to Inspire. Now Bwipo here at the top side going in for the 1v2. Needs to take out Quid or Sniper to try to turn it into an even fight. Both are low, nobody's dead just yet. Bwipo looking to get away. He finds the third and Topo strike. You gotta be kidding me. Bwipo is wide, and 100 Thieves died a 1v2 for the big man top side.
What a play from Bwipo in the top side, pulling off the monster outplay in the 1v2, and FlyQuest making more plays down on bot.
We aren't done. River's got to try to get away now as he and Eyla are forced to flee their own jungle. Quad coming in to reinforce his guys as now the Drake is the target. FlyQuest, they claimed the first turret in the bottom lane. Bwipo got the 1v2 outplay in the top lane. Now FlyQuest have control over the Drake pit to earn themselves soul point. 17 minutes into the game.
They are really cruising now. We'll see if River can find some. What a cleanse!
Nicely done. Captain Jack from Massu getting right away from it. Ayla's ready for the follow-up with a Magnet Storm. However, FlyQuest trying to defend with Bwipo making his entry into the fight here with the TP. 1 for 1 so far. Quad for Eyla. Quid's about to drop, making a 2 for 1 special for FlyQuest. This is exactly how they wanted this game to look 17 minutes in.
Yeah, and that teleport felt like a little bit of desperation when they get nothing from that. That hurts. I want to see this cleanse again because that was sick. But let's watch this. 100 Thieves, double soul lanes, go up towards top. They're trying to force the tower down. But while they are doing this, while they're hitting that tower, he is hitting them. Softens up Sniper quite a lot and then does a great job of just trying to kite back through this, being able to dodge as many of the Qs coming in through from Quid as he possibly can. He is just going crazy. Flashes another Q detonation. That's 2 or 3 that he was able to actually avoid there from Quid. This last one gets him with the very edge of the detonation, but that was huge from Bwipo, playing that excellently. Instead of just backing off, knows, you're going to take the tower in my face? I'm going to kill you.
The grin and eyebrow combo of Bwipo classic, and then we go down here.
Watch this cleanse. You can't even see the CC hit him. That was picture perfect there from Massu. Felt like the character didn't even slow down. That was sick.
Never broke stride, just kept walking, and then they turn it around. They make the 2-for-1 here as Quid gets caught on the back end of things. 8-4 game now for FlyQuest. When coaches are happy, you know the game is going well.
I mean, this is, you couldn't have drawn it up better, right? It's a slower early game. FlyQuest are the ones choosing the fights. They're the ones playing with a better scaling comp as well. And they are now very far ahead. 19 minutes in, big gold lead, soul point, denied 6 grubs. This is a recipe for success. And when they are ahead at 14, they don't miss. This team has not lost a single game while ahead, and they are ahead.
I mean, I feel like we see those kinds of stats a lot, but not at that level, right? Like, oh, they win 90% of the time when they're ahead, or they win 85% of the time when they're ahead. But not dropping a single time when you've got that lead at 14 means 100 Thieves are staring down a pretty nasty game state, and FlyQuest, it's theirs to lose.
Absolutely, and the other side of that stat was, you know, we have this one team that never loses when they're ahead, and we have this other team that is just this action-packed team, is the bloodiest team in the world, the most combined kills and deaths in their games of any team in any region coming into this series. This has not been that kind of game. You know, yes, it's not bloodless. Yes, it's not, you know, an LCK first blood at 25 minutes, but it is one of those games that is much more controlled, and it's, again, FlyQuest choosing the fights and FlyQuest outscaling you while they do it.
So I like this total damage chart because it tells a really interesting story. Normally, when you have a ranged top laner playing into a tank, that guy's going to have highest damage in the game pretty easily because of the fact that he's just shooting the tank the entire time. You're just getting so much added damage. The only one higher than Sniper, the guy shooting the tank, is the tank. Bwipo is now the unstoppable force and the immovable object.
See, that's where he went wrong, and assuming Ksante was a tank.
Ah, yes. I see my error
because
at this point.
He's Go-Go Power Rangers, and he turns into an assassin when he goes all out, and that's probably where all of his damage comes from.
He's his own Megazord. Instead of summoning a robot, he just gets
summons himself. I mean, it would be fun to see a damage chart like that and see how much damage was while all out. You know, like how much of that 10,000 damage was just in the couple times he pressed R.
Right, because I mean, it's a ton of the character's kit, right?
Yeah,
like you pretty much just morph into a bruiser. But right now, 100 Thieves have, I feel like, a very, very quickly shrinking window to try to salvage the game. And that window is looking an awful lot like a 62-second timer on an Ocean Drake that will be Ocean Soul for FlyQuest if they secure it. This is not a good sign for 100 Thieves. The pressure is on. They need to find some way to answer this.
And I have to give Busio credit because I think a lot of people, when they're playing something like Braum, they just always default to these kind of tankier support items. I think Mikhail's is 1,000% the correct choice here. You know, what are you going to do to come back as 100 Thieves? Well, you're going to fish for a Sejuani ult, right? And you're going to hope to hit that Sejuani ult on a carry, burst them 100 to 0, and have that essentially negate your disadvantage. Mikhail's completely stops that. And you can say, yeah, well, throw the ulti at the Braum. Well, if you're going to Sejuani at the Braum, you're probably not winning the fight.
You just throw up the door, stand there. I mean, I feel like Braum is probably the champion in League of Legends Pro Play that I have seen the most games lost by a team engaging on him. And now Eyla's got to get over the wall. Flash from the Rell. That is a massive team fight tool no longer available. I'm talking about 100 Thieves needing to figure out a way to navigate this fight so FlyQuest doesn't get a 22-minute soul. No Rell flash makes that navigation so much harder. The compass just broke.
Yeah, I mean, you have no Rell flash for the engage, so now you're 100% all in on finding a perfect Sejuani ult, which is just going to be Mikhail's or cleansed. And so I really struggle to see them finding a way unless there's some massive mispositioning here from FlyQuest, and we'll see if 100 Thieves can make a miracle happen.
All right, River is in that brush inside the Drake pit. Nice sidestep there on the accelerated shock blast from FlyQuest. Now they want to go in after River, just trying to burst down the Sejuani. Massu's not going to find anything there with the chains of corruption. Quid going in, tries to steal away the Braum ulti. 100 Thieves have made their play. Inspired's going to be killed off first. FlyQuest looking for a little bit more damage back. They're going to grab Sniper. Make it 2. Now 100 Thieves have lost their AD carry. A double kill for Quad. 3 dead in 100 Thieves jerseys. And Ocean Soul for FlyQuest.
Nicely done there by FlyQuest. River goes in. I think he's just really trying to focus on drawing a lot of attention there and trying to soak the damage, saying, okay, well, if they commit to me, maybe we can get some damage out, build some space for my team. You know, he's clearly not going for a 50-50 because he goes in with the Dragons at 7,000 health. He goes in, but the problem here is Massu and Quad on the side are kind of untouched. Busio just immediately peeling back to cover for Massu. Massu flashes back over the wall and then gets so much damage here down onto Quid. Quid is essentially completely out of the fight, and the rest of the time, Quad is just working on this Corki. FBI really cannot get involved. River was on the run. As soon as Bwipo rejoins, this fight is just all over. And now Bwipo, this far ahead, has the Ocean Soul as well. This guy's going to be a brick wall.
How do you kill him, dude? He's got so much armor. The only enemy AP threat is a Sylas who has Proto Belt and a couple of garage sale pieces. Okay, Quad had a bit of a happy ult there, but it doesn't really matter because you're already 2,500 gold ahead with that Drake Soul. I just don't see a way where Bwipo dies without just going completely ham for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would have to be a real overextension, you know, catch him with a lot of different members here. Quad just going to be able to knock down that tower, though, and they have full control of this area. Summon the Azir turret, looking towards Otacon. Of course, you have to be careful, you know, around Otacon. If you do take too many stacks, you get pretty squishy. Yeah. You know, it is cutting down your armor and your MR. But FlyQuest don't need to pressure anything because they have the push down in bot, and they're just slowly but surely creating more space. Ooh,
big hit on Quad there from Sniper. Knocks him down to about 40%, but River's going to be your target on 100 Thieves side yet again. Down to 300 HP here on the Sejuani. They don't overcommit any further towards him. And again, these situations, these heavy trades favor FlyQuest so much because of the Ocean Soul.
Exactly. You know, this is Azir essentially being like gifted a Bloodthirster, right? He just heals back up by hitting the wave. You know, normally you are in such a risk, but instead they put River so low, they know he has to go back to base, they know he has no flash, so they're straight in on the Otacon. I don't think there's anything 100 Thieves can do about this.
No, sir, not with Varus and Azir DPS in the thing. Now Quid's gonna be slammed into the wall, has to flash over just to survive, but Bwipo is all out, going after FBI, and Bwipo is the one who knocks. FlyQuest unafraid to keep going forward. Bwipo's looking for another solo kill, this time on the Quid. Doesn't even matter, a double kill back for Quad, a dead bottom lane for 100 Thieves. FlyQuest just got Otacon as the entree. They got the bot lane on the side, and it's Baron for dessert.
Exactly, right back to Baron. You've on-hit Varus and Azir, some of the fastest objective takers in the game, by the way. So they're just still topped off from this Ocean Soul. They're going to claim the Baron as well, and then they are going to be marching on the base. Baron plus Otacon plus Soul at 25 minutes. That is complete control, and that is how you do it.
And the entire time, Bwipo just standing there as a brick wall. No way for River to even approach and try to make that one a 50-50. I feel like we are in go next territory for 100 Thieves after this fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this one is just completely one-sided. There's not too much to talk about it. Bwipo just runs straight in, takes down FBI. Quid doesn't even bother trying to help him because he knows he has no chance. They'll just get 1v2'd. On the other side, they're losing as well. There's the Otacon GAs. They're still pretty much full health by the end of it. It is just complete domination here from FlyQuest. This is this team at their very best, controlling the map, controlling objectives, fighting on their terms, and they really do look bulletproof when they play like this.
And we saw in an interview from Bwipo after the loss to C9 in the... Oh, hold on. Got a bit of an engage coming out on Massu here. 100 Thieves going in for the carry of FlyQuest. They need a little bit more damage to find him, but they just don't have it. Massu stays alive, and everybody on 100 Thieves is now overextended. Their play is ended. Quad coming around to a guarantee this is the last nail in the coffin. FlyQuest aren't even worried about it, and they will continue their push straight down the mid lane with a triple kill from Massu. The Varus, the only man on the Rift that has not even died these 27 minutes. And with all those black and white screens on 100 Thieves, this base is in shambles.
Yeah, they're just going to take all 3 inhibitors at the same time, but you can't blame 100 Thieves for a look like that. They knew there was no cleanse on Massu. He's a little separated from the team. It's desperation times, right? It is that 1% chance that you're looking for in a game like this. They took their swing. FlyQuest was ready to answer. Don't even get the Otacon GA off of Massu for insult to injury.
Oh man, that is a rough one. But what I was saying before, 100 Thieves tried to take their swing. Hold on, we might see another swing in the meantime. Let's see if FlyQuest want to leave. Doesn't look like it. They are ready to just keep this one going. Still 5 minutes strong. That's the power of the Ocean Soul. 20 minutes into the game, you're just immediately still topped off on all your resources. Flank coming around from Quid, but that control ward's going to see him. FlyQuest is fully aware of what's going on. First Nexus turret already down. Only one structure beside the Nexus still standing here in the base. Eyla's in the front line, immediately killed by Massu as they try to engage once more, but no, it's only 2 more deaths. It's all in vain for 100 Thieves. It's another triple for Massu, and FlyQuest 20-5, 29 minutes into the game, make quick work of 100 Thieves in game number 1 of this best of 3.
Inspired even getting a solo kill on Quid, up 2 levels over the enemy mid laner at the end of that game, by the way, level 16 on the Vi. This was domination, start to finish. FlyQuest really gave 100 Thieves no chances at all.
I tried to say it twice, and FlyQuest cut me off both times to punch the Thieves in the mouth, but it really feels like they fell into their trap game once during the Cloud9 series to qualify into the conference play, and now they're sharp and they're ready to go.
Absolutely. It's going to be a really exciting one. We'll see if 100 Thieves can bounce back or what they're going to be able to get done, because they need to change something up.
All right, we're going to go ahead and toss this one back to the lounge now to go.